We are back at it again here with another video with Invest for Tomorrow. To all the first time viewers and investors, welcome to the channel. To all subscribers, welcome back. All I ask for in return is for you to smash that like button to let me know you watch this video. Helps out the YouTube channel and lets me know you appreciate the time and effort I put into making these videos. Now, here we are with Shiba Inu, and we're going to break down some information on why it ran. We're going to talk about how it's getting further adopted and how much it would take at these current levels to become a millionaire if it reaches 1 cent or 1 cent of a cent or 1/100th of a cent. So we're going to go ahead, break that down. But before we do, if you trade stocks as well, you may want to look into the link down below in the description to the Discord. We have a growing community of investors all looking to learn and grow together. I'm going to share with you guys the home run of the week, and then we're going to get right into it and break down everything going on here based off 42 Vision and the charts with Shiba Inu moving forward. So I usually talk about the home run of the day, and today I'm going to share with you guys the home run of the week. Today's opportunities gave realistic expectations, and these were the stocks I mentioned. If this is something that interests you and you want to become part of, you're more than welcome to join us. The link is down below in the description to the Discord, and by joining, you'll become part of a growing community of investors all looking to learn and grow together. And I want investors to be aware that this community is not just a day trading opportunity community. There is opportunities for everyone, whether you're a day trader, long-term trader, or swing trader. So these are the stocks I mentioned, AEI and ADMA. AEI was the best performer of the day, and I showed everyone in the community that with 42 Vision, I was able to catch this dip, right? Because with 42 Vision, I was able to see when the weakness was happening and when the momentum actually went to its highest peak and when it was actually getting weaker to pull back. And that's how I was able to make 8% on this move. This was a 10 to 12% move, happened in a matter of minutes, and that's what it's all about. Looking for 5 to 10% movers, 10 to 20%, and 20% plus is a home run, whether it's a daily opportunity, weekly opportunity, or long-term opportunity. So let's talk about the stock that is the home run of the week, and that is HIPO. Talked about it this weekend. It was at 523. It was sitting right there at September 6, 2021. And I mentioned it at 4:26 p.m. So right there's the timestamp. I talked about it before this happened because a lot of people talk about how I don't mention it before it happens. And this is what we do. We try to catch opportunities before they happen, weekly and daily. So how was it that it turned down on the week? Well, so far, just yesterday, it moved up in the pre-market. It was going up. It was already up 10 to 20 cents. And even still at that level, and even towards the bell at 572 in the dip here of 549, it went all the way up to 684, presenting itself as an opportunity of 20% plus. It went up yesterday 20 to 25% in just the first day of the beginning of the week. And even at these levels, it is still up nearly 10 to 20%. This has been a phenomenal home run for the week so far. And even when I look at it and zoom out, the long-term opportunity is there. So if this does start to pull back, the opportunity is becoming even larger. But this did what we expected it to do so far as a swing trade perspective and opportunity for the week. If this is something that interests you, check out the link down below and you will see for yourself the opportunities that awaits you. So here we are with Shiba Inu, and Shib Coin has actually been in an uptrend right after that big pullback. Everything in the crypto market had a huge pullback. It actually hit new lows and it bounced off of it, right? We've talked about that support several times here based off the 1 day to watch it very carefully if it broke through 5 zeros and a 5. And if we go ahead and look here, that was a pretty big drop, and then things are looking kind of sideways. Now, when you put the 30-minute, as we saw it earlier, you could see here, based off 42 Vision, when there was weakness, came back up with strength, consolidated weakness again, and took off. And within that run there, if I go ahead and do a tracement here where we could see, actually, let's go ahead and delete that, and we could see here together, right, where it all started and how high it went. From those lows, it nearly went up 51%. So with 42 Vision, you have that opportunity to stop yourself from getting into something that is on a downtrend, trying to catch it at the dip and ride it back up in the rip. And it hit highs here of 51%. So if you're like a day trader or a swing trader of 1 day or 2 days trading, this right here, 42 Vision, can give you the vision to see the opportunities in the charts. But let's talk about Shiba Inu. So Shiba Inu has actually ended up with further adoption, right? We got it now on Webull that it can be traded on there. If you didn't know that, go check that out. eToro has always had it for the last several months. And then Coinbase was adding it where you can chart it, but you can't trade it. And that's going to be a big step into further adoption once that happens. And then we have Robinhood, the competitor of Webull, to actually eventually further adopt it as well. So Shiba Inu was moving pretty decently at these times. As you could see it since that announcement in the last several days, it was going in an uptrend, and it went from 5 zeros and a 6 all the way to highs here of 5 zeros and a 769. And then it started to pull down. So this support level here, 5 zeros and a 5, is tremendous to be aware of, and a huge point because that's the support in the lowest point that it reached. And if that gets crossed, this could go to the downside. Remember, Shiba Inu is a long-term journey, and I'm going to share with you guys where Dogecoin was when it first started. Keep in mind, Shiba Inu just came out this year. It's only several months old, and this was about a year after Dogecoin existed. We're also going to look at how Shiba Inu is trending and what is going on overall with Shiba Inu in the charts. So the first thing is Dogecoin, okay? Dogecoin took many years to get to 1 cent. As you could see here, if you count the zeros, if that reminds you of Shiba Inu, well, you're right, because it has 5 zeros and then a 1 in front of it, and then it continued growing. This was back in December of 2013 to 2014. Before that, it was even lower because this came out in 2012. This is huge, guys. Dogecoin started just like this, and it took nearly about 7 years or 6 years, between 5 to 7 years, to get adopted onto different exchanges and actually get onto Robinhood, Coinbase, and eToro, and everything that you can think of that comes to crypto markets. Another thing too, Dogecoin wasn't as accessible back at that time. You had to buy a Bitcoin, and then you can go buy other coins through a Bitcoin, which was pretty interesting as well. Now Dogecoin is accessible, and this was back in 2013, 2014. So a lot of people that talk about crypto like they know about it, know your history to understand why there is these price targets and possibilities of hitting 1 cent, 10 cents, or 1/100th of a cent, which we're going to calculate now. How much at these current levels, right, from this low, let's not talk about 5 zeros and a 6 or 5 zeros and an 8. Let's talk about 5 zeros and a 5. At this low, how much would you have to invest to go ahead and become a Shib Coin millionaire, right, with Shiba Inu? So here it is. When you actually go ahead and grab the amount, right, needed, necessary to go ahead and know how much you need to purchase, I'm going to start off with $500 here, and we're going to divide it by 5 zeros and a 5, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and a 5. That's that low there. That's that support. If it breaks through it, then we'll have to go ahead and change that. But right now, hypothetically speaking, $500, going ahead and dividing it by that, it gives you 100 million Shib coins, right? And you multiply that by right there, 1 cent, okay? Exactly 1 0 and a 1, $1 million, okay? $500 at these levels if it reaches 1 cent. That's a really speculative number and area. Now, if you wanted to go ahead and say, well, if 1 cent's not reachable, what about 1/100th of a cent, right? Like, how much would it take to become a millionaire if it reaches 2 zeros and a 1, which Dogecoin reached that after about 5 years, okay? Think about the history of Dogecoin, how long it took to further adopt, and how fast Shiba Inu is being further adopted. So how much would it take? So if it gets caught, right, at 5 zeros, right there, actually, let's do the number. We're going to put 5,000 here, divided by 5 zeros, okay, and a 5. It would take $5,000 because you would then end up with 1 billion, right, Shiba Inus, Shib coins, and if you multiply that by 0.001, 1/100th of a cent, 1 million. Okay, So every time a zero moves over, so let's say, what about if it reaches here? Well, or actually 3 zeros and a 1, excuse me. It would take 50,000, okay? 50,000 in capital now, okay? Now, the thing is, could it reach these levels? They're all possible numbers. 1 cent's possible. 1/100th of a cent is possible. Will it take many years? Possibly. The first thing is further adoption. The second thing is the burning of coins. Because a lot of people talk about how much the value of the coins would be if, or how much it would take to get to the valuation to get 1 cent. If the same money stays in the same place, but burning is happening, there's no need to increase the whole entire value of actual dollars going in if the burning is happening, because it creates scarcity, okay? It becomes more valuable because of the supply and demand. So currently where it sits, it is pretty overextended. It might pull back. We're going to have to see if it consolidates. And a lot of people have asked too, could this go lower? And me personally, I believe it can, because we saw how fast it reacted to the downside from 5 zeros and a 7 to 5 zeros and a 5 because of the other cryptos in the same sector and niche. And this could get pulled down with them eventually if there is a crypto winter. And crypto winters don't mean they happen exactly in winter. They can happen in fall, they can happen in spring, they can happen in the middle of the year, in the summer. But they call it the crypto winters based off the history of crypto, right? But that can eventually happen as well when it pulls back drastically, and Shiba Inu could be in that bunch affected. But once it starts to reverse and the further adoption over time and the burning, this could go closer to 1/100th of a cent, or possibly even the speculative number of 1 penny. Now, some people have even said 10 cents. Some people have even said $1. You know, if somebody said that about Dogecoin years ago, they would have looked at them sideways or funny. And when you go all the way back, right, to what this can chart here, because this actually can't even chart that much. It can only chart so far. This was at 1/100th of a cent in August of 2020. Okay? And it was all the way back at 1/100th of a 100th. So it was a 1,000th of a cent, right? 3 zeros and a 6. Way down here at those times. So you got to think about the history, guys, way back here at these times. You know, 1,000th of a cent and 100th of a cent way back here. And I just showed you guys where it was at in 2013 and 2014. It was way down there in that area of where Shiba Inu currently sits. And this was literally a year into it. It wasn't even further adopted. It wasn't as accessible. And some will argue they're very different. And Dogecoin was a meme coin. Shiba Inu and Shib Coin have been made with a purpose under the Ethereum family. So this is a long journey. There's nothing short about it. It is speculative, but a lot of people compare it to Dogecoin. And if they're going to be compared, at least let's think they're going to have a history repeats itself moment, right? Where Shiba Inu repeats the history of what Dogecoin was able to do and possibly surpass it or catch up to it, which is the plan. Now, if you go over here to most visited, Shiba Inu is on number 20, okay? Most visited. So it's losing its rank, and on trending, it is nowhere to be found. So it had a huge move without even trending, but it is still on the most visited. So that right there is pretty interesting as well, how fast it moved in these last several days. It could be the anticipatory run because of a possible burning coming up if it hasn't already happened. If not, it's coming soon, and it's going to be a big deal because it's what's going to drive this up over time. And then also supply and demand. As always, guys, thank you guys so much for watching, and let's make some money.